Good afternoon, guys. My name is James, and today we're going to take a look at creating checks in QuickBooks Online. Luckily with QuickBooks Online, it's designed to be simple and easy to use. So it's easy to go ahead and come on up and go to this plus icon up here, which is adding anything new. And then you'll see right here to create a check. That window will go ahead and open up a check here. And it's just going to ask you a few quick, straightforward questions. The first one is, who are you going to pay, or who's the payee? So we'll come in here and we'll decide that it's going to be this person right here. Now, depending on who this payee is, if they've got a mailing address associated with them, then it'll go right here and be there for you to already have there. If they don't, then it won't show up. And you'll see that the name shows up in the mailing address but no address. The other thing is, if it's someone new that you are adding, you can actually come here and choose Add New, and from that point forward go ahead and put in information. So let's say that we need to go ahead and write a check to Walmart. And we actually want to add more details. So you'll see this plus details here. And we can say that the company is Walmart. And our business contact at Walmart is John Doe. And we're just going to select a Walmart here. And when we're putting in this company information, it actually searches a database to find stuff. So your vendor may already be in that database, and it will autofill the address here, the phone number, anything like that. So you'll see, since I selected a Walmart up there, we autofilled all the things here with that information. And we're going to say that our contact at Walmart is John Doe, and John's email is walmartjohn@test.com. Keep it simple. You can also add in more information here with mobile number, fax number, websites, what your cost rate is, billing rate, anything like that. And if they are a 1099 contractor, you can select to track them here. And that'll be something that we'll cover later on, but just to get started on that. Also, one big important thing here is, if you have terms with the vendor, set up the terms in this area, because from then on out, if you have a bill, it'll automatically set those terms. So we'll go ahead and set those terms and everything, and we'll see now that the payee is Walmart. We've got a mailing address including our contact's name, and then we've got the date that we're paying here. The other thing going on here is we'll have to select the bank account. So this account only has one bank account. But if you have maybe 2 or 3 checking accounts, or a checking account and a savings account, you want to make sure that you select the bank account that that check will be coming out of. That way, we go ahead and recognize where that check is coming out of, and it will reconcile on your bank reconciliations at the end of the month. From there, we're going to come over here to the check number, and we've got 2 options here. Either you can go ahead and put this check number in and just save the check once we're done writing it, and it's going to save in there that that's the check. The other thing that you can do is you can print your checks through QuickBooks Online through compatible checks. And to do that, you can either click this print later or this print check button. And we're going to end up clicking this print check because ultimately it'll show you the same thing, but I just want to get through that and show that to you. We're first going to finish setting up this check. So we're going to come here, go to category, and we're going to say that we needed to get some office supplies from Walmart. And it cost us $150 to get those supplies. And if we did class tracking or anything like that, we'd go ahead and put that in. If we did location tracking, you would do it right up here. If you wanted to assign the expense to a project or to a particular customer, you could do it right here. So we're going to go ahead and do all of that right there. If you want to put in description or something more specific, you could. And you'll see down here that I opened up the item detail. So if you've got a product or service and you're actually doing inventory through QuickBooks, then you would have to use this item detail area. This item detail will, when you put the quantity in here, will increase your quantity in QuickBooks by that amount. And the rate will help in your job costing and everything. If you're not doing inventory tracking through QuickBooks, don't worry about the item detail, as most times it will look collapsed like this. Now, if you need to go ahead and put in a memo here to say that this was for an office party. I don't know why you're buying office supplies for an office party, but hey, whatever floats your boat. And now we have this all set up. So when we go ahead and click this print check here, it's going to go ahead and save this check, and it's giving us a warning because I've actually gone ahead and set this account up so that it gives us a warning if we don't put a class in. So we're going to go ahead and say the transaction even without the class, and it's going to take us to a page that looks like this. And this is the exact same page as what the print checks later page looks like. And it's going to ask us on this page what the starting check number is. So we would go ahead and put that number in, and this would allow us to select multiple checks to go ahead and print. I'm also, before I do here, I'm going to go ahead and take you to this print check. So if you had multiple checks to print, or you check that check mark for print check later, you would come to this plus icon and click this print checks here. When you do that, you see the exact same screen here, and then we go ahead and we'll put in the check number right there. From there, now that I've put in a starting check number, from then forward, this is going to remember, okay, the last check was $3.99, so the next check that I go to print needs to be $400, and so on and so forth. So if you ever get out of line, you will have to modify this number right here. So keep that in mind. So once we select the checks we want to print, if we had multiple in here, we could select multiple, and we clicked preview and print. It's going to bring up this page right here, and it's going to give us who the vendor is, what the amount is, the date, put out the written amount here, put in who it's going to and the amount there, and then the memo line is going to actually go on that memo line in QuickBooks. You're still going to have to sign, and I know this really doesn't fully look like a check, but this will print onto those pre-designed checks exactly the way that it should. Now this account is actually set up as a voucher check, so you'll see that there's two different vouchers below this that would give you more detail. If you don't have voucher checks, then you would set it up specifically for having 3 checks to a page. And I'll do another video on that probably today and get it uploaded around the same point of time. So we would go ahead and we would click print here, and then it's going to bring up your print preview. At this point, you need to make sure that you have your checks loaded in your printer, and go ahead and click print here. When you click that print, and I'm going to click cancel because I don't actually need to print this, but when you print that, you'll want to make sure that it comes out correctly, because when you close out this page, it's going to ask you whether this check printed okay. And you're going to answer yes, or you need to reprint, or no, keep them all there. So this did come out correctly. So that's basically how we go through and add checks and print checks through QuickBooks Online. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Reach out to me. My contact information is on this page. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.